Yo, yo, yo. Are you guys able to hear me? Let's go. Yes, it is party time. Yeah, I know. I'm watching the Cardinals game right now, and of course, Goldie, who hasn't hit a home run in 20 games, it feels like, has hit two today, the one day after we bet him to hit a home run. Of course, that's how it goes. Yep, I did see it, Trevor. That was hilarious, man. Oh, a little bit of background noise. Let's see if we can get that. Yeah, this will definitely be a stream where we kind of just work through it a little bit and hang out for a while. Pirates still aren't on the board yet. Knock on wood there. Love to see it. Sweet. Love to hear that. Loud and clear. Love it. That is definitely what we want to have happen. Hey, what's up, Craig? How you doing, man? How's everybody's nights going so far? We are, if you've been tailing the bets specifically, right now it's not looking too bad. Not looking too bad at all. Hey, I appreciate it, Craig. Yeah, I'm always seeing you in the YouTube comments, and when I saw you on Twitter, I was a little taken back. I'm like, I don't think I've seen this profile picture before, but I definitely know Craig Harlow. I know the name. So, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Hey, you're at the Guardians game, huh? Okay. It's been a very typical Guardians game so far. Oh, the Padres under? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mackenzie Gore almost got out of that first inning, and then he just gave up a big home run. I think so too, Tyler. I mean, Gomber has been giving up some of the hardest hit contact rate for a starting pitcher in the MLB right now, along with Brady Singer. So, if this is any time for it to happen, um, it's going to happen at Coors against Jorge Soler, and I think that ball could fly. I think we could see a couple balls fly in that game, actually. Yeah, yeah. Logan Allen is an interesting guy. He's given up a hard contact percentage pretty often, but he's limiting the damage. I mean, this previous outing against the White Sox, he's had back-to-back starts against the White Sox. He got into some serious trouble in multiple innings and still worked out of it. So there are some guys that just know how to pitch in critical spots, and he's a young guy, but he's doing pretty well in that department so far. Don't know how longer or how uh, that's going to keep up long term, but it's been nice so far. Definitely been nice. Hey, love to hear that, Craig. Love to hear that. Yeah, Dylan Cease is sitting at three strikeouts, and he's at 84 pitches through 5 innings. So, no outs here in the sixth. Let's fingers crossed and see if. Oh, as I say that, Jose Ramirez just grounded out the first ground out though, not a strikeout. So we're looking good there. Hey, what's up, Trev? How you doing, brother? All right, let me get this stream tweeted out here first and foremost before I forget. But I'm glad to hear everything is working how it should. If, yep, Nick, I am live. I'm live, man. Yeah, that was an interesting ejection. I don't have the audio on, so I didn't exactly get the full gist, but I pretty much got it without hearing the commentary. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to get this tweeted out here. I'm so upset. I'm just looking at my thumbnail right now for this live stream, and of course, I put Kodai Senga in there, and we have the Cubs under, and he gets scratched. That's just how it goes sometimes, unfortunately. Yeah, Trev, that's the issue of living in the Midwest. I mean, we're blacked out on the Cardinals when they go on the road. Oh, Matt McClain just went deep. That's not great for the Cardinals fans. But yeah, it's a bummer. You know, we're blacked out on the White Sox. Indians game, both broadcast because, you know, if you live in the Midwest, you're probably connected to Chicago in some way. You got to find different ways to watch these games, and it's ridiculous. MLB definitely needs to step in and do something about it. But my fingers are not crossed there. I'll tell you that much for free. Yep, I'm seeing that they are reviewing that ground out from Jose Ramirez. Oh, and as they do it, they call it stands. Okay. Yeah, we got all the games working right now. I love that you're at the game, Craig. That is so fun. We're on the same side, kind of. I mean, I'm pulling against Dylan Cease striking out guys. I don't really care if he records any other type of out or if he gives up 0 or 10, but yeah, we're pretty much in the same boat. Oh yeah, I hear you, man. It's just ridiculous that MLB has this many blackouts. I mean, how can you even be a fan of the game, really, ultimately? It's crazy. It's crazy. We'll get these scores updated. Kind of playing around with some graphic work. I'm not a big graphics guy, but figured I'd try my hand at it and see how it turns out. Knock on wood, Craig, but yeah, I think it's looking pretty promising right now. Once we get these 640 games coming up, that's where our money lies today, for sure, though. Obviously, though, Dylan Cease is a 3-unit play. We got Yu Darvish's under on K's right now, which, let me just pull up his box score. I'm not even watching that game yet. No K's for the first inning. That's a good sign. Really, Doug, you guys don't get blacked out on anything? Like, even if you lived in Toronto area, you don't get blacked out on the Blue Jays? I guess I'm so in the dark on how that stuff works, but that is kind of cool that you can get everything else even if you are blacked out on the Blue Jays. Yeah, no, Trev, he has been looking really good. Matt McClain was a guy that was a very sought-after prospect when he was coming out of high school, and then he decided to go to, I want to say UCLA. I might be wrong on that, but he ended up becoming a first-round pick again anyway after he went to UCLA. And he's definitely a ball player. He was a really fast riser through the minors. And, yeah, he's been hitting really well. That's for sure. Hey, what's up, Dylan? Good to see you, man. I'm always seeing you interacting on Twitter. Love to see it. Great to have you on here. And yeah, guys, you do have to be subscribed, just so you know, to comment in the chat. So, love seeing that there's already so many comments. And yeah, we're just hanging out. Oh yeah, yep, TSN. Okay, that makes sense. That's okay. Wow, you guys have the best deal of it then. You get every single team, and even the Blue Jays are just kind of like a basic cable package. See, like, to watch the Cardinals and the Cubs just in the Midwest, you have to buy Fubo TV, and then you have to buy the marquee channel specifically for the Cubs. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, it is a good way to get people to sub, you know? Drive that. And that's kind of also why I wanted to do these streams, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys know this, but I don't sell picks. I have never sold my picks. And also, the only kind of revenue I bring in on just giving out my picks, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, whatever else, is actually Underdog Fantasy. You know, I'm just really grateful that I got to partner with such a great company that I think is putting out one of the best products in the market. And yeah, that's really the only revenue stream on these videos that I'm getting, because my YouTube channel isn't even monetized right now. I don't have the necessary watch hours over this past year. I used to be monetized, but I lost that monetization when I took kind of a leave from uploading YouTube videos regularly, so I'm still getting that back. Ooh, Wilson Contreras stung that ball on it. Landed where usually the shift is what covers that, but oh well. As far as the people in the chat right now, who are your guys' favorite teams? Who are you guys pulling for on a daily basis in the MLB? Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that, Kev. What should I even call you? Because like, you're Doxville on YouTube, you're Kev Caps Ohio on Twitter. I guess I don't know what I should informally call you. I feel like you're one of the boys at this point. You know, you've been a day one homie. Like, what should I call you? Hey, what's up, Adam? How you doing, buddy? Hey, if you guys aren't following Adam on Twitter, Adam Rosenberg, get on that. He puts out great props every single day, great bets every single day. His spots on VSIN are amazing. And we're also thinking about starting up an MLB podcast as well. So, hey, okay. Kev, perfect. But yeah, definitely give Adam a follow on Twitter. He's putting out some really good stuff, and we talk daily. He's one of the few people I talk to, or make sure I talk to daily, just because I like bouncing things off on him, and he's a cool guy. Oh, thank you, Todd. Thank you. Yeah, I gave my buddy Todd the the onus, I guess, to tell me whether I was live or not. I didn't want to make a complete fool of myself. And oh, speaking of Todd, Brendan Donovan having himself another game. There we go. Hey, so it says Tammy, but I'm going to guess that's Donnie. Thank you for popping in the stream, Donnie. Appreciate you. But yeah, guys, if you want to just hang out tonight, you know, grab a beer, grab some snacks. Let's have a good time. I'm just going to be chilling. Going to be doing a little bit of handicapping, and we'll probably just even do some handicapping on stream. Just kind of go through some of the games tomorrow, talk about some angles. And there's Tommy Edman with a ball into the gap, and that is going to be a double. And it's going to be a triple. Double, okay, 2-run RBI, or 2 RBI triple. Not too shabby. Love to see it. I've been so clued in on this Cardinals game that I totally forgot. I didn't even see how the White Sox inning ended and seeing if Dylan Cease picked up any more Ks or not. Nope. 6 innings pitched, 3 Ks. So he's only sitting at 88 pitches. I didn't really track their bullpen usage that well coming into this game because it just wasn't an angle I liked. So I don't know if they're going to let him ride and try to eat up more innings or what. But it wouldn't surprise me if they did. He's been having an off year. He's rolling tonight. Might be a good spot for him to get into the triple-digit number, or triple-digit range, rather. Stars -1.5. Ooh. Are we about to dabble in some hockey? Starts in 24 minutes. Hey, appreciate that, Ernie. I really do. I try to definitely be as transparent as possible. This is definitely my avenue of how I've carved out a comfortable life. So I want to do the same for y'all, and there's no reason for me to be, scummy or not track losses or just be transparent, and that's what I definitely strive for. So thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I just got my buddy Todd's text, and he was my checker of the live stream, and he's like, my YouTube app wasn't loading, so I had to re-download it, but I got there. Yeah, the Indians or not the Indians. Oh, jeez, not trying to get canceled on the first live stream, boys, but the Guardians. The issue with them right now is that, one, they're not scoring in general, but two, they're not scoring late. They're not scoring runs after the 6th inning. I mean, they are, I think, the second worst team in the MLB, if not the worst team in the MLB, in terms of runs scored after the 6th inning. I mean, that's putting a lot of pressure on your bullpen to perform. And even if they do perform, and let's just say they give up 1 run through 4 innings, which is a good outing for your bullpen, if you're only scoring 2 runs, you're probably making it going into extras or you're losing the lead, and it's just been rough for them. So, it's been a tough go, and I don't know where exactly that offense is going to come from. Andres Gimenez was sort of a soft contact guy last year who was over-hitting his under-the-hood numbers, and now it's really starting to show up that it was kind of a flash-in-the-pan year, which happens with a lot of guys every single year. Yeah, they just tied it 2-2, and on top of that, you got runners on the corners, no outs. So we'll see how the Guardians get out of this, or if they do get out of this. It probably at worst is, or at best for them, it's probably going to be a 2-3 deficit, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't think so, Craig. I don't think the Twins will go under 500. Before the season, we're on their future over on wins, and I believe that was at 89. No, that's too high. I can't remember exactly what the number was, but yeah, I really think they have the lineup and the pitching, and I don't even think their starting pitching has been that great so far. So that has some catching up to do, and I think they're a really good team, man. I think they're going to be a playoff team 100% at this point. Hey, Blaine, just seeing your comment. Appreciate you stopping in. Always a big supporter of everything I'm putting out, so I really appreciate that, and good to see you, man. Yeah, Yeah, big reason. The reason the Twins are definitely gonna get into the dance is because they are coming out of the AL Central, which is just looking disastrous right now. I mean, like we kind of talked about, the issue with the Guardians isn't starting pitching. I know they've lost Savali and Tristan McKenzie, but the big issue right now is they just can't score runs throughout the entire duration of the game. They'll pull one off early and then try to cling to it for 4 or 5 innings, and then it's a deadlock, go to extras, lose it in extras because they can't score. Kind of a predictable outcome for them, or a layout each time. Yep. Yeah. It really is one of those divisions that is. It kind of reminds me of like the NL Central, where every single team can beat the other team, even though some of the teams might not have a great record. Still capable of beating up on each other, and yeah, it's definitely a good way to put it, Greg. Or I definitely agree with that. Ooh. And the Cardinals right now are just taking cuts at Graham Ashcraft. He is. Let me just double check, but Graham has been running into some trouble lately. Yep. Yeah, that's what it was. 83.5 was the future, not 89.5. I knew that was incorrect the second I said it, but yeah, 83.5, man. We are sitting on a good number, I think, with the Twins. Yeah, the Phillies are an interesting team. I was really heavy on their under on wins this year, which I thought was ridiculously high. I think it was sitting at 90 or 89 or 88, somewhere in that range. And they were a team that I talked to my buddy Adam about. He's a Phillies fan as well. And we just kind of talked about, placing a bet on them just not making the playoffs, period. Definitely felt like a regression year, especially when the Rhys Hoskins news came out and Bryce Harper was injured coming into the year. And it just felt like some of their pitchers definitely overperformed, and they overperformed as a whole entire staff comparatively to what they had. So, yeah, I wouldn't be too bullish on them making the playoffs, but at the same time, they might sneak in. I mean, that division is definitely going to start getting a little bit interesting if the Mets can't continue this little recent hot streak that they're on. So, we'll definitely see about that. Yeah, yep, Logan Allen. Like we just were talking about before the stream, or at the early part of the stream, Logan Allen had been doing really well at avoiding bad innings because he will allow base runners and they just wouldn't score. Long term, that's just never going to be sustainable. And like we just kind of saw there, he had runners on the corners, walked a guy, or another guy got on. Can't remember how he got on, but then yeah, a double. Sometimes you're just going to get roped for a double. MLB hitters are very talented. They're going to be able to pull that stuff off from time to time. But yeah, kind of looking at the under the hood numbers for Graham Ashcraft, just because he's given up a lot of runs once again, and it's been a few games now out of his last 4 or 5 starts. Under the hood numbers aren't that bad, to be honest. It's more so that they're just kind of getting hit to the right spots, which is a good sign for him long term, but he has given up a lot of balls in play. And when you are giving up a lot of balls in play and they're getting, placed in the right spots, you're getting a lot of base runners, and that's going to require you to be pretty clean in terms of walks, hit by pitches, and just executing with runners in scoring position, which he's not been great at. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely have been giving a lot of leash to Logan Allen, and that's just because his bullpen, I feel like, has been getting worked a lot. I mean, they've been in high-pressure situations time and time again, and it would just be nice if a bullpen to get back on track, because right now they're just kind of like middling in terms of their numbers, but it feels a lot worse than that just based on how many high pressure situations they're getting put in, and them just giving up a run feels like it's 20 when you aren't scoring runs. So it would have been nice to give a reliever for the Guardians a clean inning, but yeah, they definitely probably left Logan in there for a little bit too long. Oh, let's change this inning. Gosh, I'm horrible at the graphic management. I haven't been looking at the scoreboard here. Let's see. There we go. Oh. Boom. Well, we're putting a lot of faith now into the Rangers bullpen once Eovaldi gets cut out, and the Rangers bullpen has just been atrocious. So we need Eovaldi to go as long as he possibly can. Oh, our 640 games totally missed it. They're starting up, so let me get those situated. And yeah, this would be a great time to grab a beer if you're drinking beer. If you're just drinking water, grab a water or some snacks. Oh, I missed the whole top of the first in the Astros game. We got the Cubs under. And, yeah, that Cubs under. That's a bummer with Kodai Senga getting scratched. Because Taylor McGill is a massive drop-off. Let me get this pulled up here real fast. Well, the good news about Eovaldi right now is that... Oh, where'd you go? My stream totally cut out for a sec. Oh, hopefully it's not... Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh. Hey, what's up, man? Benedict Dantold is a very good dude. One of the top dudes I interact with on a not daily basis, but probably just a weekly basis. Just a few times a week. He's a great dude. Thank you for stopping in, man. I'll be honest, I haven't even been checking, like, probably the worst host right now. I'm trying to figure out how to watch games, how to interact with the chat, and also I want to check in on the numbers. Let's see what we're doing. Interactive. Oh, huge. Okay. Yeah, daily in college basketball. And that's been honestly what it's been the most, as far as most of my following. During college basketball season, channel was popping. I mean, we were getting over 1.5K every single daily upload. Interactions on Twitter were easily getting over 6,000. And just on the post. But since college basketball went away, not as many people are MLB fans, and also it was kind of a slow start to the MLB season in terms of just our betting as well. So can't really blame people for hopping off. I mean, they don't want to lose money for sustained durations. Totally get it. I do need a Noah B to moderate chat, but you know what? Chat's been pretty chill. And it's also not moving like crazy fast to the point where I feel like I need to bring out the band hammer or anything like that yet. We'll see. If it gets too crazy, I'll probably mod some people. Oh yeah, I mean, same with MLB. Like there will be spurts with college basketball or MLB where we just go on a month-long tear. I mean, and that will just kind of almost not, I won't say entirely define the season, but those chunks of time are awesome. I mean, just over this past 2.5 weeks so far, I guess, in MLB, maybe even a little bit longer now, we've made up over 60 units. I mean, we started off in the red about 10 to 20 units. We were kind of below zero in the negative in the red. And yeah, we just immediately erased it, and hopefully it's just kind of like a more consistent output from here on out. I would be totally fine just cashing 3 units each day. And I know that's an unrealistic standard, but that'd be incredible. Agreed, Kev. Agreed. Yeah, I feel like you guys I can trust y'all. Oh, and yeah, and I 100% agree with you, Trev, as well. I mean, gambling, it's variance. Like MLB, I'll probably have a negative record at the end of this year, just because of how many player props I put out, and those are just 1 unit sprinkles. Or I'll even do like money lines of plus 200 north of that, and I don't really expect to hit over 50% on those, but you don't need to. It really just comes down to hitting 3 of 10, and you'll come out profitable on those player props and whatnot. Trying to track all these games here. Hey, was that David? Just answer. I'm kind of scrolling through the chat. Sorry if I miss any comments right away. What is your most profitable sport? Great question. Over the last 4+ years, 4.5 almost, or 3.5-ish, almost 3 2/3. My most profitable sport has definitely been baseball, but you have to also understand that baseball season lasts 7 months or so, and college basketball season is over in a flash. I also put out a lot more volume in MLB as well, so that's part of why it's most profitable for me. But right there with MLB is probably my most profitable. Well, definitely my most profitable. Then college basketball, then college football, then NFL, and I don't bet the NBA or the NHL or anything else like that. But those would be my most profitable sports for sure. Hey, did Dylan Cease just get pulled out? Yep, love it. All right, we're on the board, folks. Oh, what just happened? Did someone just go yard in this Rangers game? No, barely. Oh, okay, thank God it's not the Pirates up. I was getting nervous. Josh Young has been on a heater, too. I mean, he is a guy that is swinging a hot bat. But yeah, we are on the board with Dylan Cease under 5.5 Ks. Love to see that. That's a good start to the night. That's where we want to be. Got some money to play with, and there is a single. I don't want this game to get carried away, this Rangers-Pirates game to get carried away, just because the Rangers bullpen sucks, so I need them to feel like this is going to be competitive and not throw out their D-list innings leader type guys. That would be not ideal. Yeah, Cedric Mullins is swinging a really hot bat right now, especially for just the type of player he is. His power game has really stepped up, and a lot of people aren't noticing that, and the books really aren't noticing that either, just because his home run props are still getting set at plus 750, and he's hitting like a guy who should be getting plus 450, plus 500 lines. So we're going to have to revise our stance on Cedric Mullins, I think, just to try to see if we can cash in on a little bit of this hot streak. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and yeah, once again, if you guys could drop a like, that would help out a ton. And if you do want to comment and you're struggling with that comment system, subscribe to the channel and you'll be able to comment as well. So just as a heads up there, if you were wondering why you weren't able to comment, that might be the reason as to why. Yep, I 100% agree with that, Kev. Yeah, baseball is definitely a slower grind, and it's not as kind of like pick'em friendly as college basketball. Like you can look at a spread in college basketball plus 7.5. Minus kind of pick'em break are over unders because those are the things that are kind of hovering around minus 110. Um, a lot of these lines we'll be seeing are going to be like minus 145 on the money line with teams, or if you want to lay the run line to minus 1.5, it might be like plus 125, and people get scared. Like lines are set out because they want to generate, picks to one side, induce picks to one side. They're all for just generating action, and a lot of people don't have that grasp, especially when other sports have, a lot more points, and so they can do point spreads, and those become more of like a 50-50 gamble unless you have some edge. Yeah. So Benedict Dantle in the chat asked, do you mind sharing some of your strategies behind your picks? Yeah. We bet minus one. We bet money lines. All of them have sort of a different handicap. So if you have... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Ernie, I love doing futures bets. I think there's a ton of value in that market, and I don't think people are, in general, transfer portal sub basketball just yet, and MLB obviously is full swing right now, too. Coming in setting, unless it's like college basketball, where there's like a set in stone half, where you have like a good 15 minutes to really handicap what's been going on. Innings just move. Baseball, especially now, just moves way too fast, in my opinion. Oh, Burley. Alec Burleson in the Cardinals game. I mean, that was some effort. If you guys are watching the Cardinals game, that was definitely some effort. It was just not the most athletic-looking thing I've ever seen in my life. But hey, you had a plot effort, especially for a big guy running around in the outfield. Feels like the Cardinals always have a big guy run here, and see how many Ks he's sitting at right now. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll see. 3 Ks through 3 innings, pretty efficient pitch count. We're going to need some quality at bats from the Nats here coming up. We're going to make it work. Oh. The Rangers put another one on the board. 2 home runs. That's just how it goes. That's just betting sometimes, man. It just it gives you the middle finger. I got to get some of these. Yeah, he's been swinging a hot bat. That's a bummer. Happens. But hey, we'll take it. That's good for our Twins look. Okay, let's get these games up here. Good start to these 6:40, or I guess wherever you're living, 7:40 Eastern Standard Time games. Pretty decent start. Like what we're seeing. Waino once again kind of mustering through 5 innings with 4 earned. Hopefully he can get out of it. Yeah, to answer your question, so asked in the chat, what time do you usually start looking through the next day's slate and make bets? Really early. And not only just early in the day, but I have a good idea of what the lines will be when they post 4 days prior. I bullpen usage pretty heavily, so I like to have an idea of where teams are standing, how often they've been using their bullpens, and I just have a good idea of what matchups I like based on how guys are hitting the ball. For example, I really loved Goldie in this Cincinnati Reds series, just because he's been smoking the ball with not a lot of results. And when you go to Great American Ballpark, I was eyeing this matchup 5 days prior. But yeah, I'm definitely doing before the day starts, as the day kind of moves forward, if there are injury scratches or anything else like that. And then, um, for example, right now with the Atlanta Braves, I'm on an angle with them where I just kind of want to bet against them for a little bit here. I mean, they put Max Fried on the IL. They put Mike Wright on the IL. Um, there's another player, another reliever that they put on the IL just in this past week alone. And then their other starters in this lineup, you look at Spencer Strider and Bryce Elder. They've been giving up a lot of hard contact and kind of skating by with that. And again tonight, I didn't even watch this game, but Spencer Strider. The Dodgers have 4 runs through the first 3 innings. That's very on par with how Spencer Strider has been performing this season so far. Great stuff, but just getting smacked around. And who knows if that might just be who he is. We'll see. Still a young guy. Hey, what's up, Morgan? How you doing, buddy? It's great to see you in the chat. Where are you from? Which country are you from? I know you're from out of the States. And I appreciate you for stopping in. And I'm a big fan of just you always supporting and everything else. So really appreciate it. Well, Alec Burleson isn't as bad as Marcell Ozuna, but yeah, the same kind of like premise. Just a big guy, kind of a loaf running around there. Like Marcell Ozuna and Matt Adams were definitely akin. I think Burleson at least had. Oh, come on. Trying to pull up this game first. Water. Alex Cobb's another guy who you look at the ERA and you think, oh, he's one of those giant starters who's performing well, and that's going to continue, and he's just been carving up teams. That has not been the case. He's been getting slapped around with some seriously hard contact. I've been chomping at the bit to fade him in a good matchup for a bit now, and the Twins were a perfect matchup today. A little bit of a juice line, which is why I didn't go too crazy on it, but 35 isn't like too bad. So, with not a lot of results, and yeah, just a matter of time before he had a monster game, and I think he's about to go on a tear. Honestly, if you bet a Goldie over 1.5 total bases prop the next week, you're probably going to cash it half the time, or even more than half the time, I would say. I think he's about to go on a tear. So. And Eovaldi is carving up right now. Yeah, are the Marlins even playing right now yet? Are the Marlins on? Because I do have a Jorge Soler home run prop that I want to keep some tabs on. I also almost bet Brian De La Cruz in that game, which, saying it out loud now, I guarantee he's probably going to go on a 3 home run game, if anything is indicative of that. Okay, question in the chat. What advanced stats do you weigh the most heavily? That's a great question. It's different for, obviously, if you're talking about like a hitter or a pitcher. But we'll just talk about hitters. And I love the new stat. It's a new stat. It's been on Fangraphs now for about 3 seasons, but it's under. You can just go to game logs, then you go to batted ball. You kind of sort by those 2 filters, and you just look at a player on every single team. Usually I like to target guys who are hitting in the top half of a lineup rather than the bottom half because I just want as many at-bats as possible. But you look at the batted ball percentage, whether it's soft, medium, or hard, and you look at each game, you can tell which guys are going through a funk and which guys are seeing the ball well. And if you match up, whether or not a guy's been actually putting up like numbers on the board with home runs or RBIs. Great example is Julio Rodriguez. He's been scorching the ball for 2 weeks now. You look at his average before last night, and it was 204. It's almost like an average, or it's almost kind of weird that he's not getting more hits, to be honest. So that's definitely something I really weigh with hitters, is just looking at the hard contact rate, making sure that it's still there. Big one this season was Arenado, Nolan Arenado. When he was going through his slump, he was 50% in medium contact, 50% in soft contact. Nothing was getting smacked. And he was K'ing at a high rate as well. You got to look at K rate. And there was nothing inducive of him breaking out of it at any point. Then it kind of turned into the month of May. Man, he was starting to hit the ball a lot better. And all of a sudden, the hard contact rate went up, and what had happened? He hit like 10 home runs in like 15 games or whatever it was. But he's been scorching hot ever since his slump, and the numbers reflect that under the hood as well. Oh, you're from Finland. Yeah, I knew that. 3 a.m., man. Oh, my gosh. I had to switch to your phone since this was lagging on the iPad. Well, hey, man. Morgan, you are such a cool dude. I don't even know. Is it Morgan or Elias? Like, what should I call you? But, yeah, man, you are that guy. You are always showing love, and I definitely appreciate the hell out of you. You're going to be at the Cubs game for Tyone and Carrasco. Yeah. Yeah, hitting the over is probably a good call. It's going to be set really high, though. I would say probably like 9.5. And if it's a windy day at Wrigley, if you're a Cubs fan, as well as me, just how much that wind can play a factor if it's blowing in. I mean, yeah, it can be pretty crazy. So it might even be a sneaky under if the line is set really high and it's a crazy windy day. But if it's a neutral wind day and the temperature's right and everything's pretty decent in terms of weather, yeah, it's probably going to be a lot of runs being scored there. Okay, so when you look at your hits plus runs plus RBIs props, what do you usually look at? So kind of like we talked about, I looked at hard hit percentage a lot. I look up, whatever starter they're playing, whether it's a lefty or righty. I look at, in particular, what their most dominant pitch is. Nowadays, a lot of these pitchers, I really only throw in 2 or maybe 3 pitches at their entire percentage, and really they just kind of have like fourth pitches or maybe even a fifth pitch that is extremely rare at this point. That is so never used that you just can't really even pay attention to it. And you just look at how much they're using certain pitches, and then you also look at how the hitter that you're targeting hits that type of pitch. And really, that's ultimately what it comes down to. You're probably going to end up with about 3 or 4 or 5 names per day if it's a full slate. And then from there, you just kind of target, which ones make the most sense. Are they playing in a hitter-friendly ballpark? Are the wind conditions right? Are the temperatures right? Usually you can carve it down to 1 or 2, maybe 3. And that's just kind of how it goes for both the home runs and hits plus runs plus RBIs. Look for guys who are scorching the ball. Look for a good line. Obviously you don't want to be betting like minus 165 or anything like crazy juiced. But, yeah, that's what I definitely look at in terms of those 2 props for sure. Yeah, Brian De La Cruz is probably going to be one of those guys that I bet Jorge Soler today, he probably homers tomorrow, and Brian De La Cruz goes nuts today because he was in my bet slip and I just didn't pull the trigger, which is how it goes sometimes, man. It really is. Yep, Elias. Kev or Johnny Knoxville has been around for a very long time. For a very, very long time, for sure. One of the day ones, along with you, and then Benedict Dansold has been around for a while. Ryan Hasty, who's usually in here. Oh, man. I'm blanking on some of the other ones. Oh, Blaine Fulton. Yeah, a lot of guys have been around for nearing almost a year. It's pretty crazy. It's going to be a year coming up pretty soon here, guys. On YouTube, at least. I have a lot of people as well that followed me over to YouTube from my previous posts, whether it was on Snapchat or just like betting websites or Twitter. And those guys have also been waiting as well, or been following me for a long time as well. Yeah, J-Rod can be a little bit too patient. That is definitely what I would say. That's pretty accurate. What I will say as well with J-Rod though is his launch angle has been kind of weird. Like he's just firing some balls into the turf, and you gotta get that sorted out. But I think that'll come pretty easy. And of course, Tyler McGill. You know, Kodai Senga gets scratched, and Tyler McGill comes in and already has 4 runs through 2 innings. This is why I really wish over-unders were set on listed pitchers, or there's a way to do it. At least in the books that I have, there's no way to do it. And that's also why I tweeted out to cash out on 4 units and just do it for 2 units at under 9, because that line really changed when he got scratched. But yeah, that's a bummer. That is definitely a bummer. Oh shit, just kind of surfing through the scores, and I'm looking at that Blue Jays-Rays game. Oh my gosh, did any of you guys bet that? Nearly bet on the Blue Jays again today, and they're up 10-1 in the 5th inning. Oh my gosh. Somebody call the paramedics. My goodness. Let me tell you, adjusting these like innings graphics and the score graphics is going to drive me crazy. Dude, nothing is worse when you have a great under angle and a starting pitcher gets scratched for a guy who is literally a walking, just hard hit ball waiting to happen. It's very unfortunate. Oh my gosh. There's so much happening right now. I'm trying to watch this Twins game. Also, I just got to bring up, there should be 100% more day games in MLB. I don't understand why it's so confined to a few days. I mean, the amount of bets that we are, like, working with right now is crazy talk. I mean, I'm watching, obviously, the Pirates game because that's nearly over. We need to skate by with not allowing 3 more runs. Evaldi is still carving up this lineup. I'll say the Pirates' offense has fallen off a cliff. This team is so fadeable on the run line and just team total unders right now. It's pretty crazy. There are a few teams like that right now. The Guardians are in that same department where they just can't score late. They can't score up in the 6th inning, man. So Kev just put in the chat, responding to an earlier thing we talked about how you kind of view home run props and hits plus runs plus RBIs and just batter props in general. But he said, yeah, I got to look at pitch type more often. I've been looking a lot at recent exit velocity, and if the guys are consistently hitting 100 plus off the bat, but it seems like it's only a matter of time. Yeah, that's definitely an angle you can take. You know, if guys are hitting the ball hard, that is definitely going to be conducive to long-term success if they are sustaining it over a few games. Yeah, that's definitely a good angle, and that's essentially what I do to a degree. I'm eyeing these teams and their unders against certain pitchers, you know, the week beforehand. I don't even need to see the line to know kind of where the line should be, and if there is a line that I feel like is drastically off, for example, like the Rangers yesterday, I felt like the 135 line was just drastically off. Obviously, it didn't work out for me, but I knew that was an immediate smash spot. It really is. With those home run props, the biggest one this year was CJ Cron. We bet CJ Cron on a home run prop 3 times, 3 separate times, and he never homered. He got some close home runs, but he hit a home run the next day all 3 times. What? I was so upset. Seeing those balls fly over the wall then the very next day, it's just the worst feeling because it's like I should have just bet it twice in a row. I liked the angle the first time, probably like the angle again, but I just didn't want to double dip on a guy who didn't give me the payoff, and of course it happens right after that. I am using OBS I don't make money off YouTube at all. I just put them out each day. I put the videos out each day and put the picks out each day. And yeah, man. Oh, Weimer, home run. Brewers are on the board. Let's go. Love to see that. Love to see that, guys. We are, I mean, knock on wood, but things are starting to look pretty decent for us right now. We got to keep some of this stuff up, but we're off to a red-hot start. When a player props in their offensive struggles, like, he might not come up 4 times in a game, and that would just be annoying. So Kev just put in the chat, yeah, I'm not sure if it's a swing thing with J-Rod or just the spin of the ball. Boy needs to get the barrel back to the barrel zone. Yeah. Yep, 100%. He is drilling a lot of balls into the turf. He needs to get that launch angle right. He has that weird squatting motion, which there's not a lot of guys who hit home runs like that. It's a very explosive type of swing, whereas, you know, a lot of guys are kind of a smooth power swing, especially a guy like we talked about earlier with CJ Cron. He kind of reminds me of a purely right-handed Jose Ramirez in terms of that squat swing. So it's kind of interesting how that goes. So put in the chat, do you ever play FanDuel's Dingers Tuesdays? If so, is there any strategy that you use differently? No strategy as far as what I use differently. I will say a lot of those do carry value, and I will also say FanDuel, during college basketball season, banned me off a lot of their promos. They didn't ban me in totally, so I'm still able to use their platform, thankfully, but I am promo banned from their boosts and whatnot. So I don't get to partake in some of those more fun things. I don't even get to see them. My app is kind of weird looking, but yeah. Yeah, the MLB could make a lot of good money just with those noon games on weekdays. Insane. I mean, they would be the only professional sport on TV, and there's no reason for it not to be. Baseball is a game that should be played in the sun, not on the cold night. Well, now it's kind of warming up. It's summertime, but especially in those early season matchups, a weekday, like a day game, would be perfect for a lot of reasons. Yes, Exodus. Yeah, yesterday was just annoying. It was so annoying because I'm just kind of looking back at that slate. Rangers had their chances and then just gave up that grand slam with 2 outs. And then Goldschmidt, of course. Goldschmidt, we had the home run prop and total bases. He just gets walked twice and doesn't even get a hit. Obnoxious. So obnoxious. That whole Rangers lineup is swinging the ball extremely well. That's why I liked the Rangers yesterday. I thought they would do this. I really did. Every single sign pointed to it, but it was not to be. So Yu Darvish is sitting at 3K, but he has such an efficient pitch count. He's only had 3 base runners so far. So the Washington Nats are having good at bats, but they need to start doing some damage to get him out of that game. I don't like it. And if you guys are just tuning in, we've already obviously hit on Dylan Cease under 5.5 Ks. Love to see that. That's a big one for us there. And now we're just kind of monitoring through these other games. We have a lot of money on the Twins. A lot of money on the Twins tonight. Come on. There we go. I'm trying my best to handle these graphics. It's not going too smoothly, but I think I'm doing all right. I'm not getting these innings. The innings I keep forgetting to update. But I feel like you guys have eyes. You guys know which inning it is, even if I don't. And I will say, I wanted to bet the Diamondbacks so much yesterday. They were the one team I cut off, and they made me pay. And they're up 3-1 again today. I know we had a Phillies fan in the chat earlier. It's been a rough one. Definitely been a rough one. 100% Kev. I 100% agree with you about the FanDuel and their home run lines. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They limit the damage on those home. For baseball, DraftKings easily has the best lines. Out of them, I'm talking about like the major books. BetMGM, you can catch some good lines, particularly on unders for pitchers' strikeouts. And we like to bet those unders. Yeah, probably because they promote so many, like player prop specials and whatnot. That's probably why their lines are where they're at. I mean, for like most bettors, that would be a good trade-off. If you can get some extra value. But even with those specials, when I was on FanDuel and I was partaking in those, they would like limit you to like $25. I mean, I wouldn't even bother to place that. I mean, I just wouldn't even think to place that. It's still like a good bet. You should sprinkle in just for the positive EV. But yeah, I wasn't like going, oh, can't wait for Tuesday because I get a $25 bonus. Honestly, I haven't even been paying attention. Oh yeah, painful watching these Phillies. Yeah, yeah, dude. If it's not one thing, it's another thing each night. Sometimes they can score runs, other times they can't, and it's just like pick a struggle, man. Pick a struggle. Well, tell me, guys. How are you guys liking the stream? Do you guys like this like kind of conversational style, watch party thing? I'll do more of them if people like them. But just let me know if you're hanging out and you're enjoying it, or if you have some ideas of how to kind of spruce it up. I'm down for anything, to be honest. Um, it's a weird way to phrase it, but I'm up for any kind of suggestions or critiques or anything else like that. Yeah, Jacob, I would say probably. Yeah, if you're just kind of betting on, yeah, 100%. You're probably not going to get as banned as often. I will say, one, I'm getting banned as part of just being a good handicapper, unfortunately, and profiting, especially when you are betting high dollar amounts. One book in particular, and I'm going to point it out, Barstool Sportsbook. Oh my gosh! I took a good bit off them last year, under in like a 7 month, 6 month, 7 month span, about 13 grand. But they banned me and then sent a paper check. They just, without even warning me, without text, without anything, just banned, sent the paper check, and they said that their analyst had found some suspicious like betting activity on my account or some BS. Like, no, I was just betting really well in college basketball. I understand though. They're just protecting their dollar. I get it. I get it. I do. Have a good night, man. Exicus. Have a good night. Yeah, Castellanos has been red hot. Yeah, he's definitely stepped up for that lineup in the absence of Reese Hoskins, for sure. He's been a big piece for them. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Yeah, I just like hanging out, and I've been on my phone just kind of looking at lines for tomorrow and as they come out, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun, man. So I'm definitely willing to do these more often. Why not? Yeah, and if you guys can do me a favor as well and like up the stream, that helps out a ton as well there. So any of the love you guys show, whether you tweet it out, whether you just like it on YouTube, hell yeah, love it. Well, I'm glad you guys are liking it. Yeah, it's a nice little hangout spot. I'm still watching my Cardinals game, still watching my other bets play out, and really, DraftKings limited you? They don't really limit me all that often. I'm banned on PointsBet though. Yeah, they PointsBet gave me the hammer literally a month in. I took advantage of their welcome bonus and hit it, and they decided they didn't want anything to do with me. I think PointsBet runs socials through other betting platforms because Barstool and or no, not Barstool, but Bet Rivers and PointsBet pretty much banned me back to back, and I wasn't even betting on Bet Rivers a whole lot. Oh, you were just saying goodbye to Elias. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't even see Elias was popping out, but yeah, good seeing you, Elias, and always appreciate you stopping in, man. Really do. Oh, Pete Alonso just crushed the ball a million feet. Good lord. Gosh. That under's annoying. Why did I choose YouTube Live over Twitch? I think it's going to be easier to get monetized over on YouTube. Ultimately, that's what I'm going for. I need the watch hours in order to get monetized on YouTube. I still don't have the 3,000 that they require. I have the subscribers and whatnot just because I've had a channel for a long time. But in terms of the watch hours, you have to have 3,000 each year. And right now I'm sitting at about 2,500. So I need quite a bit more in order to be able to like run ads and actually make money from YouTube is the big reason why I hopped on. That's interesting, Kev. Yeah, I haven't had any issues at all with DraftKings. They assigned me a VIP guy. They offered me like Cubs tickets several times and Blackhawks tickets as well. And yeah, I've really enjoyed their sportsbook. I've never been limited. Haven't even been promo banned really. They still give me like the tokens and whatnot, or the rewards points or whatever you call them, the crowns. Oh, oh, deep ball. Jeremy Pena just smoked the ball to center, but it stayed in the park. Thank God. Love to see that. And Drew Smiley just got gypped on a strikeout there. Fun stuff. A lot happening right now. But some fun stuff happened in this Pirates game. They're still only at one runs. Or one runs. Oh, 1 run. That's what we like to see. Heading into the 9th inning now. So, hopefully we get what we want there. I'm about to check in on Yu Darvish. Is Yu Darvish cooking or Barstool is shady to say the least? Yeah, their sportsbook is definitely. They don't want good bettors on there. They know their market. They know that they want people to parlay the hell out of the bets and use their slider tool for adjusting lines, and they know their audience. I mean, and Penn is a very prominent company in the sports betting space. They're veterans. They understand the game. Good job by the Brewers to get out of that little jam there. Nice to see that. All right, let's check in on Yu Darvish. Is Yu Darvish cooking? Not necessarily. Has 4 Ks and he's 4 2/3 in. If we can just avoid a strikeout here, that would be massive. And he's lost his pitch efficiency as well. He's sitting at 70 pitches. So we are starting to get into a spot with Yu Darvish where we feel pretty good. Oh, you laddered it down, Greg? Hell yeah. Love to see that on the Pirates. They're just a fadeable offense right now, and that's smart. That's smart to ladder it down like that. I like it. Yeah, they have me do that too, Kev. They make me do that at least one time every single year just to verify my ID and use something that has like my address on it. And I don't really, I haven't deposited on DraftKings ever since I initially deposited. I deposited, I think the first time was for 10,000 because they only do 20% of whatever you put in, and they do give you like $2,000 as a bonus for putting in 10,000. I think that's what their special was at the time, and I've never had to deposit, which is nice. Yep, Darvish tagged for 2, but his 2 outs in the inning were strikeouts. Of course. Of course. But at least the Nats are starting to get after him. If they can avoid this strikeout here with, is this Lane? Yeah, it's Lane Thomas. Oh, he's not the guy I want up at the plate right now. We'll see. 0-2 count. 2 foul balls. Come on, just put it in play for us. Come on. Oh, Lane even did one better for us. That's a bomb, folks. Let's go. Yeah, Trev. I mean, I think sportsbooks would change their welcome bonus offers all the time, but I think at the time was their offer was easily the worst at like the major sports books. I think it was we'll match 20% up to 10,000 they put in. So it's like not even dollar for dollar match, not like a free bet. You just got like $2,000 for putting in 10,000, which is kind of ridiculous. But I mean, the book itself though is good. I will say, once you actually are on DraftKings, it's pretty nice. Yep, 3 more outs for this Pirates under. I'm liking where we're sitting, boys, for this Pirates under. And for those of you who cashed out on the 4-unit play for the Cubs when our Cubs Mets under, when Kodai Senga got yanked, I bet you're feeling real nice right now. I also did, but I also will post in my recap as if it were a 4-unit play, because it would be scummy to be like, oh, well, I put it out initially as a 4-unit play, but I cashed out and made it a 2-unit play when Kodai Senga got pulled. I mean, people would understand, but it also is just, a lot of my followers, I feel like, are working people who work 9 to 5s and will place the bets before they go into work or during their lunch period or break period, and they're not looking intently on Twitter, following updates or anything else like that. And so I don't want to rip those people off in a sense. That just wouldn't feel good. What the hell? No way. If you guys are watching this, oh my gosh. If you guys are watching this Mets-Cubs game, what is Tommy Pham doing? What is this? Bro, what just happened? It was in his glove and just fell out. It hit him in like the sole of the glove, like the heart of the glove. %, Trevor. That's how books get you, is the sign-up bonuses. As in terms of like the casual or recreational gambler. If you are somebody who's like really in tune with sports betting and you take advantage of those welcome bonuses, that's how you really get a bankroll going in a legalized state initially. Max out those welcome bonuses, y'all. Seriously, that's how I launched my bankroll really into a whole different stratosphere. I do use books like Circa. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, they don't put as many lines out as I would like, to be honest. And yeah, their lines are kind of a little bit more difficult, and so I don't use them a whole lot. But I do sometimes find a good line at a Circa book, for sure. Yeah, no, that's a lot of people, Trev. A lot of people that will reach out to me will say, "Hey, going into work, are these bets still good if I put out a video the night before?" They just want to, make sure that everything is up to date and that nothing changed and that they didn't miss anything. I get a lot of people asking, is Twitter the only place you post bets? And I'm like, nope, I always have YouTube, and then vice versa. I have a lot of YouTube people will ask me on Twitter, or ask me in the comments of YouTube rather, if I have anything else, and I'll say, yeah, check me out on Twitter. And yeah, a lot of people have been trying to press me on like starting up a full-fledged Discord as well, but I don't know. I feel like I'm already doing a lot, and I just don't know if I have time to really dive into that kind of stuff full on. Oh! Oh! Come on, go, 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 go! Brewers! Ah, they're just gonna get gunned! Oh, let's go! Let's go! Are you guys watching this Brewers Astros game? What in the hell does that? We've been seeing some weird plays. Hey, yeah, what do you do, Cab, for your work? I always wondered. I know we've talked enough that I feel like you've kind of brushed by it with me in the past, but yeah, what do you do, man? But yeah, this Brewers-Astros game, craziness. This Cubs-Mets game has been some weirdness as well. Yeah, dude, Trev. Yeah, I do end up sometimes posting some really late. My sleep schedule is weird. So I just accepted a new job actually. Man, it's a job that you need a license to perform, and so I'm going through all the licensing exams right now. And I'll tell you, like reading in depth every single day and just kind of memorizing things and running off a whole pot of coffee, you crash really hard. So like last night, I was watching the Mariners game just in bed. It wasn't even an unreal time or an unrealistic time. It was like 11:30 from where I was at, maybe even like earlier than that, and I passed out. I just like woke up. My TV was still on. I was like in a half upright position. It was like what just happened? And yeah. And some nights I'll be up until 3 a.m. Who knows what's going on there? Okay, let's see. How are the Twins doing? Let's take a look. So the Twins are up 2-0. Bottom fourth. So they got runner on in scoring position, that is. And listen, what just happened in this Cubs game? I wasn't even paying attention. They scored another run. That's great. It's a bummer. Let's see. Let me adjust the scoreboard here. All right. Let's adjust the scoreboard so that everybody's on track. I knew the one thing I was going to be bad at with these live streams is just updating the scoreboard and the graphics. I knew I was going to just fall behind because I was probably just like, shooting the shit with y'all. Like, I totally missed 2 innings in the Brewers game as far as updating the graphics, but I don't think you guys care that much. Yeah, Craig, yeah. Passing out like it's your body telling you it's overworked. Yeah, it really does sometimes come down to that, where it's like, I'll feel my eyes sagging, but I'm just like, all right, wake up, you got to make a video, and, I can usually turn out a video in about 2 hours' time, and so that's why sometimes I will finish watching the games, and it'll be like midnight where I'm at, and then I'll upload it around, 2 a.m., 2:30, or 1:30 sometimes, and but yeah, sometimes other nights I just completely crash, and then you're just in that state of that drowsiness of when you wake up disoriented and you're just like, I don't want to sit down and make a video for a couple hours. Yeah, medical student life, I imagine, relates pretty heavy with that. Yeah, I didn't go to med school. I went to University of Iowa, and I got 2 degrees, but I know that the med school grind is just a whole different thing. You know, that and the law fields are just pretty crazy. Oh my gosh. This Mets defense has been horrid. Horrid. Hey, Soler hit a home run. I didn't even know that game just started. Let's go! 456 feet. If that wasn't the most obvious bet of the day, and I'm annoyed. I saw the 205 plus 205 line. I'm like, it's probably frowned upon to bet more than one unit on a line like this for a home run. But yeah, of course, Gomber has been awful. Gomber is one of those dudes who in 2 years won't be on a team, a major league team. Maybe the A's. But at that point, hopefully the A's aren't this horrible. So, one can hope. The A's are just so unbelievably pathetic. I just don't even know how to... I don't even know how to look at that team. And, you know, just a couple of years back, they were respectable. They were more than respectable. They were a playoff contender. They were a team that could beat anybody in the league. They were one of my favorite bets in the league the year when they traded for Starling Marte. Oh, you just drive around and just kind of deliver stuff, or Kev, is that what you do for your job? Just kind of drive around, deliver, or oh yeah, I knew that. You're an Uber Eats DoorDash kind of guy. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I like working on your own time. That's a good hustle. Trevor in the chat, he says, I took a fluid dynamics test hungover in college once. It was not fun. Yeah, it doesn't sound fun. I don't even know what a fluid dynamics test is. But yeah, I don't think I would want to take that ever, let alone hungover and tired. It's funny. Yep, you had Slayer as well. Yeah, I was on Slayer as well, so that's a nice little hit. The Cubs are scoring at will right now. This is just the disappointing part of, you know, like, obviously I didn't lose 4 units on this play and I'm already going to count this Cubs Mets under as a lost bet at under 8. But obviously I'm not going to lose 4 units on this play. I cashed out and then replaced at 2 units at under 9, which this might surprise you, but like under 9 is definitely still in play with how the runs don't score late and the Mets sometimes just don't score at all. But yeah, it's a bummer that when I first deliver the picks, I just have to stick with that unit size, and you can't really change it because a lot of people aren't going to catch the change, and you got to be fair. But yeah, this Kodai Senga getting scratched changed a lot in this game in terms of my angle. Well, the Pirates officially did not score more than 1 run. I completely missed the end of that game. I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, so we've cashed Dylan Cease under 5.5 Ks for 3 units. Love that. We cashed the Pirates team total under 3.5. Love that. As long as it isn't on my Giants. You bet against your Giants today, though. You bet against your Giants today. But yeah, I have been liking bets on the Giants team total to go under, and just unders in general when it's at Oracle, because they can't hit. They can't hit that well. So I've been enjoying those those unders. Tell me, when you guys, if you are coffee drinkers or like energy drink drinkers, if you drink it later in the day, does that really affect you like that? Like, can you not go to bed? Because I can drink coffee up until 7 p.m. and I'll be totally fine. And yeah, it doesn't really keep me strung out like that. I don't know. I've been drinking for a long time, and definitely helps with it as far as early day energy boost and immediate energy boost, but it doesn't sustain me. Yeah, Trev. I mean, ultimately, the Cardinals do need to make a move for a starting pitcher in the trade market. I mean, there's no way around it. Um, if they want to be serious contenders this year, that has to happen. I think Dylan Cease makes a lot of sense if the White Sox continue to struggle, especially on a one-year deal. But it needs to be somebody. And this whole thing with Matthew Liberatore that they're doing, where now he's coming out of the bullpen potentially, just absurd. Truly absurd. And Lars Nootbaar, again, with an RBI single, he's been cooking. He's another guy who his hard hit percentage is up there right now with the best of them. What did you get your degrees in? So I initially went for mass communication, which is kind of like what I'm leaning into right now. I wanted to be on-air sports analyst and or producer for a show, and so I'm definitely trying to put that degree to use. Found out kind of halfway through that it just wasn't exactly my. It wasn't going to be a successful field in terms of just generating a lot of money, most likely. So I shifted a little bit more to business management and got a major in that, or not a major, but a bachelor's degree in that as well. And so yeah, I have a mass communications degree, and I have a business management degree. And the Goldie just hit another home run. Oh no. That would have been ridiculous if the day after we bet Goldie to hit a home run, he hits 3. But yeah, that's what I went to school for. It's been a while since I graduated, and I really haven't used a lot of my degree or much of my degree, either one, to in my professional career, really. Wow, we've been doing this since 6:20, so an hour and 40 minutes, y'all. Starting pitching that has been shit for the Cardinals for the last 5 years. Seems like it seems, and they don't do shit about it. Well, last year, Trev, they did, do something about it. They traded for Jordan Montgomery and Jose Quintana at the deadline, and those additions definitely played a massive factor in their second half. But yeah, I agree in general in terms of coming into the season. It always feels like they're underarmed. And even this season, people were clamoring for them to get in the starting pitching market. And Mozeliak comes out and says, we weren't really heavily engaged in the pitching market or the shortstop market, to be honest. The shortstop market, I understood. Completely understood that. Their middle infield is stacked right now. But their starting pitching, I never understood that. And then, of course, this past week, after Matthew Liberatore's start, Mozeliak comes on and goes on a radio show and he says, actually, we were pretty engaged in the starting pitching market. They really didn't want to be a Cardinal, or they weren't fair offers. And I'm like, well, which one is it, dude? Which one was it before the season? Were you telling the truth, or are you telling the truth now? And I think that's just part of the issue with this Cardinals front office, and has been for a few years. one, they're not transparent, not that they need to be, but it doesn't really feel like they have a clear vision of what they want to do, and they're so heavily reliant on prospects, and they're just not turning out the way they would hope. Yeah, yeah, that Blue Jays score is wild. I mean, call an ambulance, but not for me, is what they said yesterday. 17-1, man. And they've only hit, I guess they're starting to home run now, or hit homers now, I imagine, because of a position player being in the game, is what I have to expect. Hey, Vladdy finally got a home run. Good for him. I mean, he's been awful recently in terms of just hard hit rate. Still doing his thing, and he has been hurt. Like, I want to make that clear. But even before his injury, he wasn't being the Vladdy we all knew, or know rather. Yep. Yeah, Jordan Montgomery and Jose Quintana really righted the starting pitching ship for them, and yeah, they were excellent pieces. I really wish they would have kept Quintana for another season and he signed a pretty team-friendly deal with the Mets, but obviously he hasn't even pitched this year so far, so it's not like re-signing him would have played any kind of factor, I guess, in this year. Yeah, I mean, Shelby Miller is one that you can kind of wipe off that list, even though he is a former Cardinal. He was with several other teams after the Cardinals and played poorly. So he's just kind of on a resurgence line, which isn't really the Cardinals' fault. I think they cut bait with him at the perfect time. But, Sandy Alcantara, Zach Gallen, both are guys who Cardinals would absolutely love to have right now. Kevin in the chat says, yeah, degrees are a scam. I got a degree in cybersecurity and computer forensics, and now I deliver burritos to rich folk. I mean, I won't say, degrees are a total scam, but yeah, a little bit better on how to network and whatnot, but networking really is natural. Like one of my good buddies, David Eichholt, who covers the Iowa Hawkeyes, like, I don't know, we'll just go out and grab beers multiple times in a month and just, shoot the shit. And it doesn't really occur to me when we're hanging out, like, that I'm talking to a guy who has, like, 40,000 followers or could potentially, like, boost up my following or whatever else. But it's natural stuff like that where it's just starting conversations with the right people and just being cool and genuine and stuff usually turns out well for those types of guys who are just genuine dudes. Oh my gosh, the Blue Jays have scored more runs. It's 20-1 right now. Goodness. All right, let's do a recap of everything. I'm probably going to hop off here shortly, but let's kind of touch base on where we're at. So, hey, look at that. Yu Darvish, only 4 Ks through 6 innings pitched. So we are more. It doesn't say that he's been pulled yet, and I don't even have that game up, but that is great to see. Only 3 Ks. Hold on, I got distracted. All right, so yeah, 3 Ks for Yu Darvish. We're on his under a 5.5. Dylan Cease has already hit his under a 5.5 Ks. Jorge Soler has hit a home run tonight on apparently the first pitch he saw. Love that. This Mets Chicago Cubs under is on life support. We look at the Brewers; they're up 2-0 in the 6th inning. The Pirates have scored under 3.5 runs tonight. That is a final. And the Twins have added on another run here in the 5th with a home run from Michael Taylor. So they're up 3-0 now. Y'all, it's looking pretty damn good so far tonight. Pretty damn good. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and a lot of you guys stayed throughout the stream. Hell yeah. I really enjoyed this, and I'm definitely down just to kind of do it again sometime and hang out, answer questions, shoot the shit. I don't really care. This is a fun time, and you guys are so damn cool. I love interacting with you guys on Twitter, on YouTube, whatever else. I mean, Instagram even. My buddy runs my Instagram, so a lot of you guys might have come from there potentially. But yeah, I've had a great time. This has been a lot of fun. Um, Drop a like in the stream, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this. And yeah, just keep doing your guys' thing, man. I really do appreciate you guys. And yeah, once this Cardinals game ends, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But really appreciate you guys. We'll also watch the end of this top of the fifth with the Drew Smiley on the mound. We'll see if somehow this under can be salvaged. Doubtful. Hey, thank you, Nikolai, for staying throughout the stream. I really appreciate you. And there's our ground ball, Drew Smiley. Yeah, Jacob, there are some fields where you absolutely need a degree to even break the surface in it. But yeah, thank you, Trev, for tuning in, man. Love it. I love talking with you always, and I'll probably text you at some point throughout this week too. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun to hop on here. And hopefully Ryan Helsley can get this last out for our Cardinals folk that are in the chat, and also for my sanity as well. This will probably be the last batter that we watch. TJ Friedel. I don't know if I can stay on stream and watch a 3-run bomb happen. That would be unfortunate. Okay, yeah, so Ryan Helsley walked TJ Friedel on a very inside pitch. And that's going to do it for tonight. But once again, thank you guys for coming out. And we'll definitely do this again sometime. Why not? I mean, I've got a little bit of a pocket of free time when the games are going on. And yeah, thank you, Colin. You have a good one as well. And you as well, Jacob. And thank you all for tuning in. Kev as well. Blaine, I saw you in here. Adam, I saw you in here. Todd. Bunch of you guys are awesome. So thank you for being so cool. Thank you for interacting with all the posts. And yeah, I will see you in a future video and hopefully another future watch party. But hope you guys have a great rest of your night.